What up, my dudes? The time has finally come. I'm quitting pro racing on MX Simulator, but not forever. Don't worry. This is not like a permanent retirement or anything crazy like that. Just going to be quitting for a little while here. So, this High Point 2019 is actually 10 out of 10 backwards, dog. Who would have known? Just watch this shit, dude. Like, you could hit every single jump really good. There's this cool, look at this line, dude. This looks like this was twice as fun than going the normal way on the track. You know what I'm saying? But, so yeah, really wanted to come in here and make this video. This is, man, really the only way to explain it. Really, all there is to it is I'm just tired of pro racing in a beta test. That's all there is to it, man. And notice I didn't say that I was tired of like beta testing a road and trying to make a road better and do all these things. If they had a side series for it, I'd be more than happy to go in there and try to test on it and stuff like that. And I also didn't say that I'm tired of just pro racing on MX Simulator. That's not what I said. I said I'm tired of pro racing in a beta test of a road. It's both of those things combined that I can't stand it anymore. And that's why I'm to the point to where I'm at. And I hate to even say the word quit anything. I hate doing that because I'm not a quitter. That's not what I am. I don't want people to get that impression, but it literally got to the point to where if I didn't do something, it was going to make me not even want to play MX Simulator ever again, period. So I had to do something, guys. I mean, when you talk about the lag that they're having with this road, the flat tracking, going from a complete highway to a full-blown enduro cross, the 2 days open qualifying system where Johnny PP Pants that ran 1,000 laps on the track can qualify 5 seconds faster than you just because he has more time. All these little things come together to just make it to where it's literally making me hate this game. And I never even thought I would say that. Like, I never thought that I would find a way to hate MX Simulator. And it's crazy because I don't hate normal MX Simulator. You know what I mean? Like, and I still stand behind all the stuff when I say, like, MX Simulator is never going to die. You can never kill MX Simulator. All those kind of things. I still totally stick behind that. But when I say those things, I'm talking about the original MX Simulator. I'm not talking about all this erode, all this new crap they've been adding. I'm talking about that base version of MX Simulator. Now, you could definitely have, erode kill the pro racing of MX Simulator, but you're never going to be able to kill the base core of MX Simulator. The physics and the feeling on the bike is just too damn good. It's just second to none. You're still never going to be able to kill that, right? But, yeah, man, I just can't take it anymore. And I'm kind of to that point to where it's like, I just feel like I have to start speaking with my participation. You understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I'm disagreeing with everything that they're doing. Oh, and by the way, you guys know the whole erode vote on the forums, right? We all voted on if we still wanted to have erode or not. It's still higher, the amount of people that just don't want erode at all in this game. I checked it last night. It was still higher all those days later. Even though there's like, I don't know, probably like 100 more votes on there, damn near, it's still more amounts of people voted to have absolutely no erode at all, and they're still going to have it. So it's things like that, and just getting on there, seeing the 2-day qualifying still. I just can't do it, guys. I can't do it. It's just driving me nuts how they're doing that. And like I say, it's kind of to that point where I'm getting the feeling like, okay, I've rode with the road this year. I've raced a lot of Supercross races, raced a couple of the Nationals, right? Got a pretty good idea on what they're doing this year. And so it's kind of like, okay, we're going to see what you can do next year, RF. Like, that's kind of to the point I'm at, because I feel like they're progressing this thing so slowly. And they are progressing it. I'm not trying to say they're not progressing. I'm just saying we've been doing this shit for 2 years now. And they're just now getting to the point where I feel like they're actually changing something and trying to do something different than totally flat track and tons of erode on it. And that's just because of the absolute outcry of everybody and really getting, amped up and kind of pissed off about it. That's the only reason we're getting these slightly more pre-made rut tracks and slightly more pre-made roughness tracks, but still they're moving at a snail's pace when you get down to the facts of it, like all of the optimization issues, the lag issues, the, making the track more pre-made. They're literally moving at like a 5% per round sort of pace right now. So I think it's going to take them another 8 or 9 races, or maybe even a little more, before they get to the point to what I consider like an actual raceable, fun experience. So there's really no point in me even running any more of the races this year, because then it's going to be the end of the season. See what I'm saying? So it's like I'm kind of to that fold point where it's like, okay, I completely disagree with what they're doing. They're not really listening to the point that they should be at all, and they haven't done that this whole time with the road. They're just not, you can tell they're just not really getting it, because they're so gung-ho on it. So they get the blinders on, can't see anything else other than let's run erode, let's test erode, let's do erode. It just seems like sometimes that is all that they can see, man. And it's their whole mindset on it that I feel like it's just one of those things going to get to the point now where I'm just going to have to stop participating, because of how much I disagree with it. I can't keep supporting that, right? It's kind of to that fold point where it's like, okay, I've tested, seen what you're doing, and until you really, really improve it, I'm not going to come back. And that's where I'm at, guys. So there's going to be no more pro race videos giving those dudes free advertisement to RF. There's going to be no more of that covering it like that, at least for the rest of the national series for sure. I'm about 99% sure I'm not going to run another nationals unless they full-blown say we're totally taking a road out, right? And I highly doubt they're going to do that. But one thing I've seen a couple of these RF officials, and of course, Checkers is not an RF official now. And by the way, Checkers, just want to let you know, you're not even an RF official anymore. So say whatever you want to say, dog. I used to get on to you about not being professional because you're one of the head honchos of RF and all that. Well, now that you're not in RF, you don't have a standard to uphold. You don't have a, kind of that, like, you got to respect your customer and respect the competitors that are racing in your events, and being that head dude of an organization, you got to have a certain respect level. You ain't got to have no respect anymore. So, I'm never going to get at you for saying anything now in that kind of sense. I'm not going to be like, yo, you shouldn't say that because that's unprofessional, because you're not even in RF anymore. But people like Race Carlin that are still working on the tracks, some of those other dudes that are actually officiating RF and they're actually a part of RF still, you cannot be getting on there, slamming people on the forums and in the little chats and shit like you're, like they're just, you're bad mouthing like 14-year-old style, going crazy in chat. Like, you can't be doing that when you're part of RF. You can't be doing that. You have a certain level of professionalism that you have to uphold, and Race Carlin, a lot of the things you say and a lot of things you do, all you're doing is making RF look more unprofessional. It's literally all you're doing. I don't care what anybody says about any of it. You have to be respectful because you're part of the organization, dog. How do you not understand that? Like, this ain't just like the fucking Wild West where it's like, do whatever the hell you want. It's not really like that. You got to, now, it's different when you're just some random guy, you know what I'm saying, like me. Then you can say whatever you want to say, because I'm not in some head of an organization or whatever. If I was somebody that was actually running pro racing organization, or I was like the top dude or whatever, and I had the competitors coming to me saying, hey, I don't really like this, or hey, don't do that, or whatever, I wouldn't get on there and be like fucking going at them in chat like Race Carlin does and all this shit he does. Like, you got to understand, he stoops down to such a low level, such a level that an official would never, ever do in any other kind of organization. They just wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? And he doesn't understand that. But one little thing I've noticed is a couple of the people in RF, or what I was going to say, and of course, like Checkers is not in RF anymore, but I've noticed Race Carlin and Checkers kind of going down this same sort of road. They want to say things like, well, anytime anybody complains about RF, first of all, they want to say we're just whining, we're just ungrateful, we don't want to help progress a road in the game, we don't want to help progress MX Simulator, right? That's sort of their biggest defense for people's outcry with a road. And the problem with that, Checkers and Race Carlin, is the fact that you're not even looking at it from the right angle. Okay, you're looking at it at a completely wrong way. That's not how we're thinking at all. We're thinking like, yo, why did you come in here with this full-blown road system that has never been in MX Simulator Pro Racing ever before? You just slam it 100% in the pro racing, boom, right away, with hardly any testing involved. And here we are 2 years later, and you're still, just absolutely unrideable lag. It's like you don't even know what you're doing with it, and it feels like we're beta testing the shit. That's why we're saying what we're saying. It's not that we're like not wanting to help MX Simulator, not wanting to progress a road or do anything like that. The problem is you threw it in the pro racing series right away, and you just killed so much of that integral professionalism and like that sort of, you expect there to not be a certain amount of lag in the pro racing. You expect the racing experience to be a certain thing, not like insanity ruts you can't even go through them in Supercross. It's one thing when they're in motocross, but even in the Supercross, just absolutely insane. Like, there were so many rounds that I know for a fact RF did not really want it to get that out of hand, but they still did it a bunch. And so that's really what we're saying, Checkers and Race Carlin. You guys need to stop going down that defense route of like, we don't care about the game and the future and progressing a road and all that. Yeah, we do. That's why we're still here. You have to understand that. You can't be so, bam, right back at us just because we totally disagree with what you're doing with the road. You can't be doing that, man. Like, that's what I'm saying. They're not even looking at it at the right angle. They're not seeing it in the right way, and so then it makes them very defensive towards anybody that says anything negative about a road. It's like, oh no, you can't say that because you're not wanting to progress MX Simulator and you're being ungrateful and we're just trying to make the game better. And well, the problem is it should have never have been thrown right into the pro racing like that. That's the problem. That's the main problem. And that's really, at the end of the day, why I'm quitting right now, is because I still feel like I'm pro racing in a beta test. That's all there is to it. Their shit is just so far from being together that it's not even funny, man. And that's where it's at. But right here, they have a little bit more pre-made roughness and ruts than they had in that last round, which had a little bit more pre-made roughness than the round before, right? Like Lakewood had a little bit more roughness than the super flat track and highway Fox Raceway, right? And this has a little bit more pre-made roughness, a little bit more pre-made ruts on it. So you can see they're finally starting to go that direction because they had no other choice. Literally 99% of the community in chat at least said you needed to have less erode and more pre-made to some extent, right? 99% of us were saying that. And then, but even the vote on the forum still shows there's more people want completely no erode at all. So, that's where we're at here, man. You just cannot be beta testing this 2 years later. You haven't progressed it enough, and it's just not working. That's the problem. And I heard Checkers in a comment, he went in there and said that, to some of you, basically like 80% pre-made, 20% erode geniuses out there, that's not going to work because it's going to wear down that pre-made rut. And that's kind of what I was getting into, where yeah, you can go in there and start doing like 80% pre-made, 20% erode, or 90% pre-made ruts and roughness, and 10% erode, but we've never even really tested that. So then it's a whole nother layer of testing. And then it's like, we're going to have to get in there and test that shit for, they'll work up more and more pre-made roughness, more and more pre-made ruts, and then less and less erode, and then we'll be testing if that'll work, and that may not even work. But I'll tell you what for damn sure 100% does work is pre-made ruts and roughness and jump faces with no erode at all. It's already been tested. It's already tried and true. It's what made this game so great to begin with. You understand what I'm saying? Like, why on earth would you not go back to that? It just makes no sense at this current point, guys. Like I say, the vote on the forums is still more people want completely no erode at all. Now, it's not by a crazy amount. It's probably by like, 5 or 6 votes or whatever, but there's been almost 200 different people actually vote on that. So there's just not a whole lot left to say. I mean, when it really comes down to it, but there's just no excuse for the unprofessionalism from Race Carlin. I mean, it's just like how Checkers used to be. And like I say now, he's not even in RF anymore. So if he wants to trash me or say whatever about whatever, that's cool. There ain't nothing wrong with that. But when you're part of an organization, you cannot be talking like that. You can't have that little like 14-year-old chat banter that you have where you're just trashing on a dude or making fun of a dude or like going in there and really doing that. You can't do that when you're a head dude of a professional series or organization. That's what RF is supposed to be all about. The most professional pro racing virtual dirt bike simulator racing series in a game. That's what RF says on their website. So you cannot have your official track maker and your officials talking like just some random, hater off the side of the street. You can't be having that, man. I don't care how much you hate me or how much you hate my opinion. It don't matter. You're not in the position. You understand what I'm saying? And all it's doing is making you look unprofessional. That's all it's doing at the end of the day. That's why I'm done pro racing for right now. So either way, RF, you're just trying to get me to, quit pro racing on my own to where you didn't have to ban me again for no reason. Then yeah, you definitely succeeded. Bravo, dude, bravo. You got me to finally quit. But the problem is everybody else is eventually going to quit this shit too if you keep on with it. That's the problem. That's the scary truth of it. And a lot of people have already quit. I mean, you can just see it in the overall like online server, the amount of people that are on that and the excitement around the game and the hype around that and just the overall every aspect of like the excitement of MX Simulator that I used to see back in the days of like 2014, 15, and 16, and like 17, right? It's just totally gone. That whole excitement, that whole looking forward, that whole like lots of people playing the game, lots of people on the online servers, shit is just not popping off like it used to. And you have to sit back and wonder why. What have we changed since then? There's really only one thing, dog, and you know what that is. So either way, boys, I don't know when I'm going to be back pro racing, but like I say, if I didn't stop now, it was going to make me completely quit playing this game altogether. And I cannot sacrifice that because it's my favorite game. I love this game to death. So I can't do that. You know what I mean? I'll quit pro racing before I'll quit playing this game. You understand what I'm saying? So it just kind of got to that point, and it was making me look bad. Like me crashing 100% from the crazy lag that they have with this road. I'd get a good start, and then the lag would cause me to crash 2 or 3 times in a row, going from 5 frames per second in a corner. And then it's making me look bad, making me look like I suck, making me look like I can't ride in it. And that's not what it is at all. You understand what I'm saying? So it's even more of a reason for me not to want to participate in it now, because it's just making me look bad. Like, I can't do that. It's no longer that what you expect, that pristine professional racing experience, that optimized, like it's none of those things anymore. So that's why I'm taking a breather, dog. We'll see what they can pull off, but I literally think it's going to take them another year or more to even get it remotely raceable or fun. And I mean, the past 2 years, I've just been tolerating it. You understand what I'm saying? I still thought it was completely janky in Supercross. Lots of issues. They've been through multiple different lag issues with it, multiple different optimization renditions of it, multiple different types of it, versions of it, all this crap. And I've just been tolerating it, right? It's not like I've been, all of a sudden, it's like I'm to the breaking point and bam, it's like this weight has been burdening me ever since they started doing the erode, and it's just never really gotten any better. It's never really lifted off. It's never it's never really came through and been that awesome terrain deformation like we all expected or kind of wanted it to be in MX Simulator. It just hasn't been that way, and I think that's why you're seeing a lot of people just getting to the point to where it's like, just take the shit completely out. I mean, you see it with the online vote, right? And it's not that we don't want terrain deformation in MX Simulator. That's not what it is. It's not like, oh, we never want a rut system or whatever. It's just whatever the fuck that current erode system is so far from what it needs to be and what we want it to be that it's like, completely take that shit out for now until you get to that right system. Stop beta testing in the actual pro racing. You need to stop doing that. That's not the way you do anything, man. So either way, don't know when I'm going to be back, but it's all good. I'm still going to be playing MX Simulator all the time, making fun content on it. I'm going to get back into doing a lot more of the custom track side of things, and yeah, so that's where I'm going to be at on it, man. A lot more guide videos for it, track reviews, all the normal shit. I'll still be doing all that, just won't be doing any of the actual pro racing side of it. So, yeah, hanging up the virtual boots for a minute, man. We'll see what they can do with it, man, but it just feels pointless to me right now to be continuing to actually pro race in this kind of environment. If it was a side series, I would still do it and still be trying to test it and still be trying to make the erode better and stuff. But the fact that it's actually in the pro racing and it's still this bad and they're progressing this slow with it, it just feels pointless until they get it, you know, way further down along the line than what they have going on right now. It's just pointless, man. So I'm just going to be clocking in terrible results. Like I just already know how it's going to be, but, either way, man, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Listen, all you dudes at RF, all I'm asking for is to just be professional. That's it. If you're somebody in RF, be professional. If you're not, then you don't have to. You can wild the fuck out and do whatever the fuck you want to do, dog. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like when you guys, some of you people in RF, come at me in a certain way, obviously you can voice your opinion to a certain extent, but you don't want to get disrespectful because then you just make the whole organization look unprofessional and disrespectful. And that's the last thing you want to do, because then you got your newcomer over here and saying, what the hell? I thought you were like one of the top dudes in RF. Thought you were a head honcho in RF, and you're going to get on here and just trash talk the people participating? Like, come on, dog. That doesn't look good for you in any kind of way. And you're making the entire RF look bad when you do shit like that. So it's just the way it is, man. But either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.